To another episode of We Reacts, man, 'cause that's a reacting week. I'm your host, 3. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Let's get into this deadly war.
From an outside look in, Manchester appears as a safe city, with it being located in the northwest of England. However, what a lot of people are unaware of is the ongoing gang war resulting in the crime rate soaring in Manchester, with Manchester even being ranked within the top 3 most dangerous cities in England in a recent study, with Manchester having over 95,000 reported crimes, which is crazy considering the population of Manchester is around 500,000. Manchester has also even been labeled the murder capital of the UK. In recent years, the ongoing gang war between two gangs in Manchester would begin to be publicized, these two gangs being Tdr and Tcg. This rivalry has proven to be deadly, with people being stabbed, shot, and killed due to their involvement. Before I start the video, I'll be sharing today's paid promo. If you are an underground or up-and-coming artist in the northwest of England, make sure to check out my boys over at Beats and Bars. They offer amazing custom rap, hip-hop, and drill music videos, which include freestyles.
Look man, I seen pythons when I tried taking a line like coding, but the cipher's too advanced, I've been dealing, stacking my chips and focusing, only the papers folding.
You don't wanna see me step out with gloves, you don't wanna see me gloved up like a goalie. Sibs all screaming out holy moly, bro's gone clear, seen him step with a rollie, fuck a timepiece, need a piece that's slow.
So if this sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to tap the link in the comments to go to their channel, and maybe you can be the next to blow in the rap scene. Tdr is a large street gang based around multiple roads around the M16 postcode of Manchester. These roads include Platt Lane and Whitmore Road, to name a few. The gang has been around since the mid-1990s, with them originally going by other names. The original gang would form in the mid-1990s. They would be referred to as the Gooch Crips around this time. With them heavily flagging the color blue, it's clear they took inspiration from America. Anyways, the gang during this time was mainly composed of street dealers that would do anything to protect their territory. Their main rivals around this time was with another street gang referred to as the Pepperhill Gang, which has become TCG in recent years. Anyways, around 1996, a younger offshoot gang would start to appear. This gang was referred to as Young Gooch Gang and was known to be a quite feared gang in the area, with them gaining a reputation as shootings and stabbings would be linked to the gang. Around 2005, many different offshoot gangs would start to pop up under the Young Gooch Gang name. This included the Old Trafford Crips, Longsight Street Soldiers, Rusholme Crip Gang, Fallowfield Mad Dogs, and the Tdr Vs Gang, which we know as TDR today. These gangs fall under an alliance known as Gooch Crips, which include the Rusholme Crips, or nicknamed RCG. So for simplicity's sake, I'll be including RCG and TDR in this video, as they share a lot of the same beef and are allied. Popular members from TDR include MB, Soulja Souls, and ABS. Now similarly to the Crip Alliance, around the mid-1990s there would also be a Blood Alliance formed. This included many different street gangs that repped the color red and made all of their beef focused towards the Crip gangs within the area. So much so that so many shootings and stabbings would occur between the gangs. Residents living in each area would actually leave the area, moving to safer places within Manchester.
So, so there's really a blood and crip thing, huh?
Around the 2000s, the Blood Alliance would consist of the Moss Side Bloods, TCG, Doddington, and Hume. However, in recent years, inside beef would start to occur within the alliance, most likely due to either money or drugs. Nowadays, the current generation of these gangs consists of AO, or Active Only, and TCG, or Top Crash Gang, with a lot of their old beef still continuing today. Prominent members of TCG include SK, Jenna, and Talgreasy. Both TDR and TCG have had a rivalry since the mid-1990s. The beef would begin when TCG members would start selling drugs on TDR territory. Both of these gangs were known by different names at the time.
These things didn't start over no girl. It started because people trying to hustle on people trying.
TDR and TCG have had a rivalry since the mid-1990s. The beef would begin when TCG members would start selling drugs on TDR territory. Both of these gangs were known by different names at the time. However, for simplicity's sake, I'll refer to them as TDR and TCG. Anyways, due to the two gangs starting to associate themselves with colors, it started to look like a Crip versus Bloods gang. War was playing out in
What I said. Hmm.
front of our eyes. Stabbings, shootings,
Look pretty even.
And murders would be very common between the gangs. In recent years, the beef would prove to be insanely deadly. On the 30th of December 2015, a man would be shot in the chest while standing on Salisbury Street within TCG territory. It's largely speculated the people behind this brazen attack were either TDR members or RCG members, which are allied under the Crip gangs. Anyways, the beef would explode around this time, and on the 22nd of March 2016, a young man often referred to as Muds would be fatally stabbed in Moss Side. Police and emergency services would arrive on the scene. However, Muds would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene. The killers would flee with a murder investigation.
We probably don't have no gun shooting for these killings, probably. They're getting up close, personal, chinging you real close. No.
Referred to as Muds, would be fatally stabbed in Moss Side. Police and emergency services would arrive on the scene. However, Muds would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene. The killers would flee with a murder investigation being launched. During the investigation, all of the members involved would be arrested and sentenced for the murder, with the killer Abdurrashid Booz being sentenced to life with a minimum of 23 years. He would even point gun fingers at the family of Muds, and would even smirk at them. Manchester Evening News would go on to report this, with them starting to report on the ongoing Rusholme Crips and Moss Side Bloods war within Manchester. Only 2 months later, on the 12th of May 2016, a member of the Rusholme Crips, or RCG, named Abdul Hafidah, would be walking on Moss Side territory, home to the AO gang allied with TCG. A gang of AO members would spot Abdul and would drive into him with their Vauxhall Corsa. The members within the car would jump out of the car and stab him multiple times in the neck and abdomen. Police and emergency services would arrive following the incident. Ambulances would try their best to save Abdul. However, despite their best
Ran into him with the car. That wasn't enough. Get out.
would arrive following the incident. Ambulances would try their best to save Abdul. However, despite their best attempts, he would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene with a murder investigation being launched. All 11 of the men involved in the incident would be arrested and would be handed life sentences. Rest in peace, Abdul. Shootings and stabbings would continue following this, with the crime rate within Manchester rising. It would peak around 2017 and 18, with there being 122.6 crimes per 1,000 people, compared to the previous years being 105 crimes in 2016 and 81 crimes in 2015. Around the end of 2016 and start of 2017, a gang based around the Gartside estate within Ardwick, on the M12 and M13 postcodes, would start to make noise in the streets. The gang based here would be referred to as 7M, with them being affiliated with nearby Longsight. They have beef with the Moss Side Bloods, which includes TCG. The 7M gang would start to drop songs around the start of 2017, with them dropping songs like Breaking Bad and RNO. However, 6 days after the release of Breaking Bad, the 7M gang would find themselves in the news. On the 8th of August 2017, 8 members of 7M would be hanging out outside of a chippy near the Manchester Apollo when they would get a phone call from a drug dealer, tipping them off about the whereabouts of a rival. Around this time, a member of an alleged opposition gang named Sate would get off
Don't see this shit.
the whereabouts of a rival. Around Apollo when they would get a phone call from a drug dealer, tipping
These niggas got the drop from a nigga that's trapping. A drug dealer. That's who gave the drop up. Man.
them off about the whereabouts of a rival. Around this time, a member of an alleged opposition gang named Sate would get off a bus coming from Manchester city centre. As he was getting off the bus, he would be alerted of the presence of opposition members nearby. A stolen Fiat 500 would approach, this containing the 7M members. The members would drive into Sate and his friends. Sate and his friends, who were allegedly TCG members, would flee towards Moss Side's Millennium Park. The 7M members would catch up and a massive fight would ensue, with the 7M members shouting, "Dip him." This attack would result in Sate and his 3 other friends being stabbed. However, Sate's wounds would prove to be deadly, with police and emergency services being called to the scene. Paramedics would try their best to assist Sate, however the wound was critical, and despite their best attempts at saving Sate, he would sadly be pronounced dead moments later. With a murder investigation being launched following this, police would find and connect all 8 members of the 7M gang to the crime. And in 2018, all 8 of the members would be handed a life sentence. Rest in peace.
Went from all 11 of them going for it. All 8 of them getting caught. They all got the same fucking sentence. Or 19 of them got the same sentence, life, all of them. They probably give it back after 30 or something. But God, how every single one of y'all got caught. You didn't hear neither case that one person got away. It say every single one of them. God damn.
Peace Sate. Now, Sate is often dissed in recent TDR songs by members like MB, who are often heard disrespecting him.
That's what be the fucked up part too. It might be one nigga who did the work, two niggas put the work in it. I got 11. The else got told on. That's a fact. 'Cause if you did it, what you telling? Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, that's crazy. No.
It is often dissed in recent TDR songs by members like MB, who are often heard disrespecting him and talking about the incident within songs.
That one drop from the hunting, Satan the rye got more than spleesh. Last year it was convoys.
Following the death of Sate, stabbings and shootings would continue to play out between the gangs, with the crime rate slowly rising. Around August 2018, a mass shooting would be reported within Moss.
Watch how y'all carrying on if y'all got issues in the streets, man. I see a fucking drug dealer just gave a drop. Nigga that sell drugs. You might have seen dude and said what's up to him too. Like, yo, what up, bro? And turned around, got right on the phone.
Side, with residents claiming shots were fired around 2 a.m. at a street party. 12 people would be injured, with 9 of those people being hit by the bullets. However, luckily no one would die. 2 men would be arrested following this incident, with them being charged for possession of a firearm and attempted murder. However, I couldn't find if these people were sentenced. Whilst it's unknown if this was a random attack or a shootout, what is known is that this war was becoming a danger to the public, with innocent civilians being impacted. 2019 and 2020 would be dangerous years in the beef, with stabbings and shootings being a regular occurrence. This then resulted in the crime rate soaring, with over 88,000 reported crimes to do with violence against other people. 2020 would prove to be a dangerous year within the rivalry, with another mass shooting being reported in Moss Side. On the 21st of June 2020, a street party was being held within Moss Side. At around 12 a.m., a male would arrive at the street party with a gun and would open fire, shooting at 2 males standing in a car park. Both males would be hit and would be in fatal condition. They would be rushed to hospital. However, they would both die moments later. With one of these members being a TCG member named Cherry, police and detectives would launch a murder investigation following this, with them arresting a woman from Birmingham. However, she would be released. Police would later arrest a 25-year-old man. However, he was also released. Until this day, police are still searching for the killer. Rest in peace. Following this incident, the beef between TDR and TCG would escalate further, and it would be around a month later that the next person would be killed due to the beef. On the 26th of July 2020, an RCG member named Mo would be playing football.
On the what?
On the 26th of July,
My birthday is the 25th. July 25th.
2020, an RCG member named Mo would be playing football with friends in Moss Side. What he didn't know was that TCG members would be looking to kill. The group would be seen walking from Cransick Street towards Henbury Street. They would spot Mo, who was playing football with his friends. The group would begin to chase Mo. Mo would be cornered by the group and would try to flee. However, the members would catch up and stab Mo in the heart. The killers would flee, leaving Mo to die. They were seen running back down Henbury Street on CCTV following the incident. Police and emergency services would be called to the scene.
Look like they caught him in like a corner too, like.
Would catch up and stab Mo in the heart. The killers would flee. TCG members would be looking to kill. The group would be seen walking from Cransick Street towards Henbury Street. They would spot Mo, who was playing football with his friends. The group would begin to chase Mo. Mo would be cornered by the group and would try to flee. However, the members would catch up and stab Mo in the heart.
Seen dude stick his head out the window.
Mo
Look,
would be cornered by the group and
him right here. Let's see you. What's your name right here? Out the window.
would try to flee. However,
You see it?
the members would catch up and stab Mo in the heart. The killers would flee, leaving Mo to die. They were seen running back down Henbury Street on CCTV following the incident. Police and emergency services would be called to the scene following the stabbing. However, sadly, Mo would be pronounced dead moments later, with a murder investigation being launched following this. All 4 of the members
That's 2-3 RCG people.
would be arrested and charged for the murder. And in 2021, all of the
All people. And watch this. I bet you they got life. Look.
members would get life sentences with a combined sentence of 54 years. 3 of the members got 15, 14, and 12 years, and the other member got 13 years and 6 months after pleading guilty to possession of a firearm with Intent to cause fear of violence. In court, videos from one of the defendant's phones would show images of dead opposition members, including Mo, mixed in with weed. Another video would show the killer rapping and talking about the killing of Mo. Rest in peace, Mo. Following the death of Mo, deadly attacks would continue to play out between the gangs. And in October 2020, 4 boys of the TDR gang would be stabbed by TCG members in one day. This included 2 boys aged 16 and 15 who suffered.
I'm about to say, they gotta get back. Cousin them losing. Like, they gotta get back. What? 2 people died. TCG.
Critical wounds after being stabbed, with the 15-year-old being stabbed in the chest by the TCG members. This is often referenced in new TCG tracks with lyrics like,
been in a grave, mucking up a chat on my TCGs. We flew out the ride and got 4 in a day. And Mills must have prayed to the Lord.
Anyways, 2020 would end with 2021 beginning, and the war continuing. In 2021, both TCG and TDR would begin to make music, with a lot of their songs being leaked. The music videos released officially by the gangs would be taken off YouTube due to how rude they were. Prominent members of TDR around this time
Just had to be taken down. They're too rude. They gotta take them hoes down. They did it too much.
by the gangs would be taken off YouTube due to how rude they were. Prominent members of TDR around this time would be MZ and MB, and in the TCG gang, prominent members included LK, Jenna, and SK. However, it would be around June 2020.
The TC had 2 people that was popular and they had 3.
That the beef would get heated again. On the 29th of June 2021, a young member of TDR named MZ would allegedly get the drop on a TCG member's house. This TCG member was named LK. MZ would arrive at LK's home
Oh, TDR is the thing.
and begin shooting into the house, which was empty with no one being there at the time. Anyways, MZ would flee following this, with police being called after reports of a gun being fired. An investigation would be launched with
So they was killing the blood in there. I thought it was the other way around for them graves.
Following this, with police being called after reports of a gun being fired, an investigation would be launched with police actively searching for the shooter. However, before police could arrest anyone, MZ would sadly become victim to the streets. On the 9th of September 2021, MZ and his friends would be traveling in a blue BMW when TCG members would spot the group within the car. The TCG members would use a stolen car and would begin to chase MZ and his friends in the car. The chase would last a while. However, it would end when the car that held the TDR members would crash. MZ and his friends would hop out of the car and start running. The TCG members would jump out of their car and start chasing MZ and his friends. This was caught on CCTV, and when one of the TCG members named Marquise Richards would start to get tired, he would pass the knife to another member named Ryan Cashin, who would continue to take chase. MZ would start knocking on people's doors asking for any help. However, no one would answer. So MZ then lay on the floor in order to hide from the attackers. However, the TCG member Ryan Cashin would catch up and shout, "Got you," before stabbing MZ multiple times. The TCG members would flee, with police and emergency services being called to the scene following the incident. When ambulances would arrive, they would attempt to perform open heart surgery in the street. However, despite their best attempts, MZ would sadly
I don't know what made him. I'm sitting here trying to think. God rest his soul. I just don't know. You cry, they chasing you. You get a little bit up, like, and then lay down somewhere. Well, you're never supposed to stop moving because once you stop moving, this is the outcome. They're gonna find you probably. It's possible. You have to get away from the scene, period, bro. It'll cost you your life if you don't, on my mind.
attempt to perform open heart surgery in the street. However, despite their best attempts, MZ would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene, with a murder investigation being launched following this. All 3 of the members would be arrested following the incident, with all of the members being handed
Those 3 again. Watch this.
life sentences. Even though 2 of the members didn't actually kill MZ, the judge argued that they had the intent on killing MZ. Following the sentencing of the teens, Marquis Richards would look at MZ's mum and shout, "Your son got smoked," towards the grieving mother. Rest in peace, MZ. Following the death of MZ, a teenager
These little niggas cold as Ice, nigga looked at his mama in court and said your son got smoked.
Major would be shot in the chest, and another shooting would occur around Moss Side, with news channels starting to refer to Moss Side as GTA due to the amount of violence happening around this area. After the death of MZ, a TDR member named MB would begin to rap. A song would be leaked around this time titled Rest in Peace, MZ, which was a tribute song to MZ.
We started off as two hood brothers. Hand on my heart, the Lord knows I won't stop. See me huff out the ride with his two-pot bottle. RIP MZ, he knows that I love him. Without you, yeah, feel.
It's clear MZ had a huge impact on TDR, with him being remembered by a lot of TDR. 2022 would begin with a lot of TCG's and TDR's music being leaked. This included a song titled Exposing Ops from MB, which was a seriously cold song, and a lot of the comments would be quick to point out the fact that MB was flowing seriously and was riding the beat. TCG would have a song titled Die Young by LK and other TCG members. Fans would start to point out the fact that LK had a seriously deep and cold voice for UK drill. Anyways, it wouldn't be long until the next person involved in the beat would sadly be killed. On the 20th of April 2022, a member of ATM named Neri would be with his nephew. They would spot 7M members and would begin to chase them armed with knives. However, the 7M members would run into a shop and wait inside. After Neri and his nephew would leave, the 7M members would exit the shop and get into a nearby car. Whilst driving, they would spot Neri, resulting in a car chase. The 7M members would end up approaching Neri's window. A fight would then ensue between the two groups. This sadly would end with Neri being stabbed multiple times. The members would flee following this, with police and ambulances being called to the scene. However, despite their best attempts at saving Neri, he would sadly be pronounced dead moments later, with yet again another murder investigation being launched. Following the murder, both 7M members would be arrested. This included a 7M member named RB and Mishai. Both of the members would be given life sentences. However, RB would be given 24 years for murder, and Mishai was given 14 years for
They giving everybody life paperwork, like, 'cause after the 23 and the 14 and this and that, bro, you life parole. Is that like a normal thing over there? Like, what the hell is going on?
manslaughter. Following the death of Neri, TDR members like MB would begin to mock the incident loads on songs due to 7M and TDR being close, and the 7M members involved would also be pictured at MZ's funeral a year prior. During 2022, TDR member MB would begin to gain a lot of attention after dropping hard songs that contained seriously rude bars. He would gain a lot of attention with songs like Drilling Room and New Ops, which both have over 100,000 views. Now, the beef has continued within the streets. However, a lot of the incidents would be kept out of the public eye, with a lot of the stabbings and shootings around this time being unsolved and not documented. However, only 2 weeks ago, another person would fall victim to the war. On the 4th of April 2024, a young member of TCG named P-Money would be walking within Moss Side when he would be approached by opposition members believed to be TDR members. However, this hasn't been confirmed. The members would have an altercation. However, it would sadly result in P-Money being stabbed multiple times. The opposition members would flee following the incident, with P-Money being left to bleed out. Police and paramedics would arrive on the scene shortly after. However, sadly, P-Money would be pronounced dead moments later. A murder investigation would be launched recently, seeing the arrests of 3 boys. However, their identities have not been released and probably won't until we see a full trial take place. At this point in time, it's hard to say if this incident was related and who the attackers were. Rest in peace, P-Money. Now, if you have learned anything from this video, make sure it's that the road life isn't worth
That was a crazy ass story, bro. The homeboys is winning though, right? To the next one, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm gone.